Hi, this is Scott Downs for Emerging Trends, MMIS 6293. In today's digital age, cybersecurity is more critical than ever. Even with the rapid advancement of cybersecurity technology, the frequency and sophistication of cyber attacks have increased dramatically. Despite the practices, technologies, and processes designed to protect networks, devices, programs, and data from attack, we continue to see, with increased regularity, more of this disturbing trend. In the next slide, we'll take a look at a few of the most recent and high-profile attacks. In finance, everyone will probably remember Capital One. Here, attackers gained access to customer status data, including credit scores, credit limits, balances, payment history, contact information, and transaction data. They were also able to access about 140,000 Social Security numbers and approximately 80,000 linked bank accounts. Capital One subsequently agreed to pay $190 million into a settlement fund for the victims of the data breach to cover things like identity defense services, restoration services, identity monitoring and authentication alerts, lost wallet protection. They provided a security freeze capability and $1 million in no-deductible insurance to cover certain identity theft or fraud costs. More recently in the healthcare market, there was a ransomware attack at Kentucky Healthcare. Here, attackers gained access to the information of approximately 2.5 million people, including the data of current and former patients, employees, as well as employee dependents and beneficiaries. Other impacted data included names, contact information, Social Security numbers, dates of birth, health information, insurance information, and medical identification numbers. And we're even seeing attacks on the guys who are supposed to be really good at protecting your data, like the credit bureaus. The Equifax data breach compromised the personal data of almost 150 million Americans, was allegedly perpetrated by 4 Chinese military hackers, and occurred after Equifax security officials failed to install a software upgrade that had been recommended to prevent digital intruders from gaining access to names, birth dates, and Social Security numbers. Equifax subsequently settled with regulatory authorities for $600 million that included compensation for victims up to $125 for credit monitoring, time spent during the extended claims period recovering from fraud, identity theft, or other misuse of your personal information caused by the data breach of up to 20 hours at $25 an hour, out-of-pocket losses during the extended claims period resulting from the data breach up to $20,000, and up to 7 years of free assisted identity restoration services. And the list goes on and on. Colonial Pipeline was hit by a ransomware attack by the DarkSide Group, causing widespread fuel shortages across the East Coast. The company paid a ransom of $4.4 million to regain control of their systems. JBS Foods, the world's largest meat processing company, suffered a ransomware attack by the Revel Group. The attack disrupted meat production in North America and Australia, leading to JBS paying $11 million in ransom. SolarWinds revealed that hackers had infiltrated its IT management company, injecting malicious code into the company's software updates and compromising numerous government agencies and private sector organizations. Then there's Microsoft. Vulnerabilities in Microsoft Exchange Server were exploited by a Chinese hacking group known as Hafnium. The attack affected thousands of organizations worldwide, allowing hackers to access email accounts and install malware. T-Mobile also suffered a significant data breach where the personal data of over 40 million current and prospective customers was stolen. The breach included Social Security numbers, driver's license information, and more. Finally, Volkswagen Group of America disclosed a data breach affecting over 3.3 million individuals, primarily those who had interacted with the company's brands, The breach had exposed sensitive information such as driver's license numbers. Keep in mind that this is just a few of the more recent incidents. If you watch your technology news feed, you'll see more every month. Now let's look at a few statistics. Here are a few statistics to ponder. NCC reported a 153% rise in ransomware attacks from 2022 to 2023. GuidePoint Security found that 65% of affected ransomware sites actually paid ransom. And despite all the awareness driven by these incidents, only 37% of respondents to a recent survey reported backing up their data. So what's the impact of a cybersecurity incident? In a recent study, IBM found the global average cost of a data breach in 2023 was $4.45 million, a 15% increase over 3 years. And as we've seen, cyber attacks can cost high-profile companies hundreds of millions of dollars. Also, 51% of organizations are planning to increase security investments as a result of a breach, including incident response planning and testing, employee training, and threat detection and response tools. And the average savings for organizations that use security AI and intrusion automation extensively is something on the order of $1.76 million compared to organizations that don't. How bad can it get? Well, things have gotten so bad that new companies and products have emerged to assist organizations with this massive problem. First, there are now ransomware negotiators, companies that are available to organizations that face the threat of a cyber attack. Some of these companies include CyberSecOp, who negotiates with hackers who demand large sums of money after a ransomware attack. Cypher, this company offers ransomware negotiations and payment services, incident response expertise, and post-breach restoration support. Coveware, which uses ransomware case data, negotiating techniques, and financial and operational controls to help with ransomware incident response and recovery. And Mandiant, which provides access to incident response experts to help respond to ransomware and extortion attacks. There are also a variety of online guides and resources available. The National Cybersecurity Alliance maintains a website containing a wealth of information for those who want to learn more about cybersecurity. The Federal Financial Institutions Examination Council provides a cybersecurity resource guide for financial institutions. And there's even an incident resource guide for governors. That's just to name a few. There's also a relatively new product called cyber liability insurance that's designed to help mitigate the financial impact of cyber incidents. Here's what a typical cyber liability policy covers. First, data breach costs. This includes expenses related to notifying affected individuals, credit monitoring services, legal fees, and regulatory fines. Ransomware payments. Insurance can cover the cost of ransomware payments and negotiations, though it's always advisable to consult with law enforcement before paying a ransom. Business interruption. Coverage for lost income and additional expenses incurred during the downtime caused by a cyber attack. And incident response. Costs for hiring cybersecurity experts, forensic investigators, and public relations professionals to manage and mitigate the impact of an incident. Cyber and ransomware attacks are the new reality in our digitally connected world. And yes, cybersecurity is now just another cost of doing business. Here are some key points that underscore the need for cybersecurity as a fundamental concept in today's business operations. 1. Increasing frequency and sophistication of cyber attacks. Businesses of all sizes and across all industries are targets for cyber criminals seeking to steal data, disrupt operation, or extort money through ransomware. There are potential financial losses. The financial impact of a cyber attack can be substantial. Costs may include ransomware payments, legal fees, regulatory fines, loss of revenue due to downtime, and expenses related to incident response and recovery. There's regulatory compliance. Non-compliance with regulations can even result in significant fines and penalties. especially for things like GDPR in Europe, HIPAA in the U.S. healthcare sector, and CCPA in California. Their reputation and trust concerns. A data breach can severely damage a company's reputation and erode customer trust. Recovering from such an incident can be a lengthy and costly process. Business continuity. How long can you afford to be disconnected from your customers? Cyber attacks can disrupt operations, lead to data loss, and even threaten the survival of a business. Then there are operational costs. Companies must invest in cybersecurity for things like firewalls, antivirus software, and encryption tools, for personnel like cybersecurity experts, and training, educating employees about security best practices. There are also insurance premiums. As cyber threats increase and more businesses are investing in cyber liability insurance, it provides a safety net, but it also provides an additional cost. In today's world, cyber and ransomware attacks are the new reality. This disturbing emerging trend will continue, so we all must keep in mind the cost to our business. Upfront costs can be significant, but they are certainly far less expensive than the costs associated with a major cyber incident. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please post any comments or questions you have in the comments section below.